what's poppin' everybody? This is Sable94. We're only a few days before Unbroken Bonds, and like I always do with the latest set, we're going to talk about the best cards from this big ass set we got here. Now if you want to get the full review on every single card for this set, then you should check out my separate reviews on the Japanese versions of these sets that basically combine a bunch of Japanese sets for our big English one, and just get everything. In this video, I'm going to try and make it brief, just cover the most important cards and the strongest cards, maybe some of my favorites too. So the most significant card, in my opinion at least, sometimes I'm wrong, but I think I'm going to be pretty spot on this time, is a special energy, this triple acceleration energy right here. So it's not going to show us the image, it would seem, but this is basically a card that's based on the triple boost energy. I believe that's what it was called, from the old EX era in the mid-2000s, basically. And that era had the most broken ass special energies, and this is one of them. We haven't really seen it since then, and they're bringing it back here. Essentially, it can only be attached to an evolution Pokemon. If it's attached to somebody else, then you gotta discard it. But it's gonna provide 3 colorless energy while it's attached to that evolution Pokemon. So crazy good. Like just with this energy you can instantly power up, big attacks like it's nothing. You have to discard it at the end, but it's definitely worth it, making big attacks. Some great examples of stage 2 evolution Pokemon that I'm interested in using this card with is Slacking from Celestial Storm, Nidoqueen from Team Up, and there's probably other better Pokemon too, more competitive Pokemon. Especially since we're going to lose DC, it's going to rotate out. And I made the mistake. I didn't mention this in my video. I found out too late. I realized too late. But especially since we're going to lose DC, this is going to be the closest thing to a broken replacement, you could say. So definitely a very good card. The most significant card here. It just opens it opens the doors to many Pokemon being competitive, since a lot of Pokemon can utilize this. Right. So this is the most significant card, I would say. Next up, we got a bunch of other Tag Team GX Pokemon. The GX Pokemon Tag Team are going to continue. And we have the first one here, first one on the set list, this for Masa and Buzzle Gx. So this is a big grass GX Tag Team GX Pokemon like Venusaur. So the same strategies you would do with tanking and healing, you can apply them here. The only difference is this Pokemon is actually a more reliable attacker. You can start attacking immediately with Jet Punch. It's essentially the same attack as Buzzle Gx, the fighting one. So you got a nice cheap attack you can start with. Elegant Soul. This attack does 190 damage for 3 energies. And then next turn, if you use this again, you just do 60. But it doesn't matter because it's a very strong attack. Now, once again, we're going to lose Choice Band. We're going to lose Lurantis, that boosts damage. But I feel like this Pokemon is still good. Doing straight 190 is strong. You can still get one-hit knockouts. And Beast Game GX, if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by this attack, you take 1 more prize card. And if this Pokemon has at least 7 extra energies attached to it, you take 3 more prize cards instead. So I guess if you want to be really ambitious, what you can do is put 8 energies on this Pokemon, then beat like GX Pokemon or Tag Team GX, and you instantly win like that. That's one thing you can do. But besides, this crazy GX attack that's hard to work, like even if you do like 50 for 1 and get 1 extra prize card, it's still good. It's a really good Pokemon. Ultra Beast, so it has all of the Ultra Beast support we would come to expect. Good HP, solid retreat cost, just solid attacks, very good grass Pokemon. So first Tag Team GX, very good. We have a few other ones that might be even more significant, like this Reshiram Charizard Gx. This might be the most strongest one. It's supposed to be like the trademark Pokemon, even having the double Blaze GX attack, named after the Japanese set. It's a very strong fire Tag Team GX Pokemon. Very high HP once again at 270. Retreat cost is kind of big, but we'll deal with it. And it's got Outrage with this humongous HP. I mean, it's not going to be like I would imagine not many Pokemon are going to be able to get a one-hit knockout on this dude. So the more damage they inflict on it, the better your outrage attack is going to be. Like, if they just do, like, let's say 120 damage on you, you can do 150 for 2. So that's really strong. Flare Strike, probably your most reliable attack. Decks are going to be built around this attack. You do 230 damage for 4 energy. You can't use Flare Strike during your next turn, but at 230, it's going to get one-hit knockouts and many different things. And Double Blaze GX, you do 200 for 3, and if you put 3 more, like the Zekrom Pikachu GX, it's going to do 300 damage, and it won't be affected by any effects. So maybe the sniping effect Zekrom Pikachu has is stronger, you could say, but this attack also has its uses. You can do more damage to the active. Doing 300 means you can KO anything, even Wailord. And you can also use this as a way to hit Pokemon that would be immune by maybe GX Pokemon and shit, since it's not going to be, it ignores effects basically. Hoopa and Ninetales, the little Ninetales, they're going to rotate out too, so those targets would have been really good, so you have this sort of out, but it's still a great attack if you put the extra energies, ignoring effects and doing 300. So, besides the GX attack, which maybe you could say Zekrom's, it's just more efficient most of the time per factor. This is a very good Pokemon. Now, will it be just as competitive as the Pikachu and Zekrom GX, since this is Reshiram Charizard? They have this iconic thing going for them, complementary thing going for them. But will it be as broken? It remains to be seen. We do have some very strong fire support. I wouldn't say it's on the level of lightning, but it should be a very good Pokemon for sure. Fire is getting a lot of power in this deck. And this is the trademark Pokemon for that. Okay, so let's move on to the other tag team GXs. I'm going to cover them first, since probably the most important decks are going to be built around these Pokemon. Alright, then we got Muck and Alolan Muck GX. So combining the two Mucks, kind of simple. This Pokemon, I mean, it's probably not the strongest one out of the tag team GXs, but you never know what's going to happen. Severe Poison, basically you poison the Pokemon and then you put 8 damage counters instead of a 1. So if your opponent's Pokemon doesn't retreat, you've inflicted basically 160 damage. It's not the greatest. DC is rotating out, so this attack won't be that good. Poison Absorption, 120 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is poisoned, you heal 100 damage from this Pokemon. So this is strong healing, especially on a big Pokemon like this. This might be a more effective attack if you want to focus on it. If you're going to use this Pokemon, you might want to focus on this attack. And Nasty Goo Mix GX. This is a costless GX attack. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed and poisoned. This Pokemon has at least 4 extra energies. You put 15 damage instead of 1 between turns for the poison. So I feel like this Pokemon, you can use Malamar, I suppose. We can't forget about that. Malamar is still going to be around. And you can use Malamar to instantly build this Pokemon and just focus on tanking as opposed to, I don't know, getting one-hit knockouts with Ultra Necrozma GX. But I would imagine it's not worth it. If you're going to be using Malamars, then Ultra Necrozma GX is still the better partner for sure. But maybe some people will try and do this. In Expanded, this Pokemon might get a little bit more value because you're going to have the lasers, you're going to have DC, and the Survivors too. The Survivors are going to rotate out as well. So I do mention these things because this is going to be the first set after we get the rotation kind of thing. The rotation is going to happen kind of soon, and we gotta factor that in. I can't be factoring in cards that we're going to lose in the effectiveness of these Pokemon. But yeah, this might be like the weakest tag team GX, unless I see somebody else that I forgot about. Alright, let's keep going. Marshadow and Machamp GX. So this is much better, definitely, than Muck and Alolan Muck. So we lose Lycanroc GX and Buzzle. Buzzle doesn't matter so much because this will be your main attacker in your fighting deck. But Diancie is still around. and you're going to be able to boost the damage of this fighting Pokemon, and that's really good. With its revenge attack, you can do 120 damage for 2 energy. If your Pokemon didn't get knocked out, then it just does 30, and that's not very good. 100 blows impact though is a good attack, doing 160 for 3. No costs. You don't even have to retreat, and you can still use the attack next turn. And Acme of Heroism Gx does 200 for 3, and if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, basically you get a Focus Sash. If you would be knocked out by your opponent's attack next turn, it's not knocked out, and you've got 10 HP remaining. So it's definitely, I would say, a lot more reliable than Muck, perhaps. It's not one of the better Tag Team GXs in this set for sure, but combined with Diancie and the other fighting support cards we have, you can deal high damage, and it's a simple Pokemon at the very least. 100 blows impact, decent revenge attack, might not be too bad. Once again, it gets more value and expanded since you got the strong energies, you have other stuff to help it out. Maybe Lindora's for energy acceleration. The thing is with this dude is that he doesn't have that cheap attack like Buzzle Gx does, and he can't use the B string to get a bunch of energies instantly. So you have to consider that. But it's a decent little tag team GX fighting Pokemon. Right. Next up, we only have a few of them left, I think. Let's go ahead. Alright, yeah. Greninja and Zoroark Gx. This is one of the better ones. This is a very good tag team GX. Very good. With Dark Pulse, this Pokemon is essentially like the Darkrai X from Breakpoint, only even stronger. You do 30 damage for 2, and then you're going to do 30 more damage times the amount of Darkness energy to all of your Pokemon. So, damn. Like, if you just have, let's say, you're going to have 2 on this guy, so you're doing 90 damage for 2 already. And it's only going to get stronger. I mean, damn. You get a bunch of Darkness energy in play, and this Pokemon is going to be getting one-hit knockouts easily. Big GX Pokemon, of course, 250 HP, 2 retreat cost, the Psychic Resistance as always, as a Dark Pokemon. Fighting Weakness can't be trouble, but it's to be expected. But it definitely just screams potential, combining some of the strongest Pokemon in recent years here. Greninja and Zoroark, I mean, that's the only thing you need to know. We have another card in here that's going to help it out that I'm going to go through later, the Sharpedo, and you build a bunch of Darkness energy, get big knockouts. The Darkrai GX, the regular one, we have in Burning Shadows, is going to rotate out too, so you won't be able to take advantage of that for long. But we should still be able to accelerate Darkness energy. We have ways to do that. In Expanded, this Pokemon is going to be freaking broken. Like, it replaces Darkrai X. It just basically does everything it does better. You got the Dark Union GX attack too. You put 2 in any combination of Darkness or Darkness GX Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench. And if this Pokemon has at least 1 more energy, you attach 2 energy cards from your discard pile onto each of those Pokemon. So, extremely strong. You can do this to instantly just build up your Darkness energies, power up a bunch of Pokemon too. It's incredibly powerful, man. It's very good. Nothing really else to say. This might be like one of the strongest GX Pokemon here. Maybe even more so than Reshiram. Yeah, it's crazy good. Right. Next up, we're gonna go to the Fairy. I guess got Lucario and Memel GX. But you know what? I'm gonna leave this guy last. Let's cover the Gardevoir. Where are you? You should be around here somewhere. There you are. Gardevoir and Sylveon Gx. So this is going to be the counter to the Darkness dudes, of course. Fairies, they're sort of nemesis, you could say. The light. Very good tag team GX Pokemon too. High HP, 260. The Darkness resistance can be very handy, especially if Zoroark Greninja GX becomes popular. 2 retreat, kind of typical, but it has a lot of very good traits. With Fairy Song, this is basically Xerneas' Geomancy attack. You can instantly search up 2 Fairy energies and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. So this is very good. Now, you could say that, Xerneas was just a basic Pokemon and was performing that attack years ago, but we don't have that card, and this is still a very good, a very good attack, a way to grab energies, mass energy acceleration. The best thing is that this Pokemon has really strong attacks too. Kaliota Storm, you move any number of energy from your Pokemon to other Pokemon in any way you like, so you can conserve the energy, and you do 150, so that's very good. And Magical Miracle GX attack, you do 200 for 3, and if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra energies, your opponent shuffles their hand and doesn't draw anything. So you essentially leave them without a hand in a way. So pretty broken. Now, Gardevoir Gx, the regular one, which is another sort of obvious partner with this Pokemon, is going to rotate out too. So, I mean, it probably will have other Pokemon it can work with, but that's an obvious partner that you lose. Now, the thing is that makes this Pokemon not as good as when I initially read it is that the fairy energies you can attach, they gotta be on the bench. You can't attach them to yourself. So you can't just use Fairy Song, then put 2 fairy energies on Gardevoir and start doing Kalidia Storm. But, I mean, you can put them onto another Gardevoir GX on the bench. That's something. As soon as you can start manipulating the energies and conserving them, this Pokemon should be good. Now, Metal Pokemon are going to be really strong, so that might be troublesome. But this is still one of the better tag team GXs. I don't think I would put it on the level of Greninja and Zoroark. That Pokemon is probably stronger, but it's one of the better ones. Definitely better than Muk, and definitely, I would say, is even better than Machamp. Machamp and Marshadow, they're not that impressive. They need a lot more partners. This Pokemon is more self-sufficient. Right. And then the last tag team GX, the one I skipped over, I'm gonna leave you last. Lucario and Melmetal GX. This, in my opinion, might be the strongest one. It's weak to fire, so that doesn't really seem to do it any favors, since fire Pokemon are going to be really good. But if you exclude the weakness, and you do have ways to counter the weakness with the frying pan and some other methods, this Pokemon is very good. And the reason for that is the Full Metal Wall GX attack, name of the Japanese set 2. This attack basically is gonna give your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage for the entirety of the game. Once you use this attack, your opponent doesn't have any way to get around it, basically. Unless it's with some sort of a shred attack maybe that ignores effects. You basically have this defense for the entirety of the game. Guzma can get around this, switching the Pokemon doesn't get around this. Just any sort of thing your opponent tries to do, you have this 30 damage less that you're going to take for the entirety of the game. So that's very good. Combined with some other tactics with meta Pokemon that block damage, and you can essentially make tank Pokemon that just won't die. That's very good. So it only works with 1 energy. You can basically start this from the beginning of the game and just have that extra defense throughout the whole game. It's just really strong. Very good. Like, they went out of their way to make this sort of defensive tactic actually very strong this time. Because the block damage thing, it always has existed, but there's always ways around it. There's no way around it, really. And if this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy when you use Full Metal Wall GX, then you discard all energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's a very good incentive too. It's really strong, discarding everything in your opponent. If you time this right, you get even more value. Now, the other good things this Pokemon has is Steel Fist. You can do 50 for 2, then you search your deck for a metal energy and attach it to this Pokemon. So it really just has this whole tank thing going for it, like previous Pokemon. Steelix Prime, some other Pokemon like maybe Scissor Prime, some other metal Pokemon, another Pokemon that basically tank, slowly grab the energies and attach them to themselves, and just do good damage. You don't get quite one-hit knockouts, but because you don't die yourself, the damage adds up. DC is going to rotate out, so you won't be able to make that sort of instant attach a DC and start doing 50 and grabbing metal energies. So that sucks a bit, but it's still quite good. I mean, if you start with this Pokemon, you would want to start with Full Metal Wall GX maybe anyway, and then you can start using Steel Fist. And then Heavy Impact is just a 150 for 4 attack, but you got to remember this is a tank Pokemon. It's going to take many hits, so you're going to get basically 2-hit knockouts on everything if you don't get 1-hit knockouts, and that's just it. Good HP at 260, the Surgical Resistance. It's just a very good Pokemon, man. I feel like these metal Pokemon are going to be very good. You combine this with a bunch of other Pokemon that are very defensive, like maybe Scizor GX and other metal Pokemon, and it's going to be tough for your opponent to take them out. There's all sorts of other cards that block damage for metal Pokemon. You got the Frying Pan, you have the Duck Trio in here. They're really scary, I would think. So this is, in my opinion, the strongest Tag Team GX Pokemon. It's either this or Reshiram and Greninja and Darkrai. It's going to be between these three. We'll see who comes out on top. I mean, Buzzle and Masa is very good too, but this guy is just screams abuse. All right, so the next most important thing is the trainers. We have a lot of very important trainers in this set. Let's go ahead and you get this Base Bringer. This, if you have already 6 prize cards remaining, exactly 6 prize cards remaining, your opponent, its active Pokemon is knocked out but damaged by an attack. You take 1 more prize card. So basically, this is it's not a tool, I think. Oh yeah, it is actually a tool. You attach this to a Pokemon, and if you haven't taken any prizes and you knock out an opponent's GX or EX Pokemon, you're going to take 1 more prize card. So, might be good in Ultra Beast decks. You attach this on them. You put this on something like Blazefalon, you get a knockout with him, and you get 1 more prize card. It definitely helps him out a lot. I think that's going to be the best Pokemon you can use this card in, because we're going to lose Choice Band anyway, so you might as well attach this tool on him. You know, getting 3 prize cards, and then you use his GX tag, get 1 more. You can grab a bunch of prizes really quickly, like that. Okay. Next up, we got Crunching Ice Pick. Look at the top 3 cards of your opponents. Deck, I think. Shuffle the remaining 2 cards back in the deck and put the remaining card on top of their deck. I think that's what it does. There might be an error here. Deck manipulation. You can basically control your opponent's top cards of the deck. Next, we got Devolution Spray Z. Devolve one of your evolved Pokemon, and you shuffle any number of evolution cards into your deck. So you can devolve it basically 2 times, not just the stage 1 if it's a stage 2. You can do the stage 2 and the stage 1 with this. And we got Duskstone. This is going to be very good. This helps you get to your Mismagius, Haunch Crow, Chandelure, or Aegislash, including GX Pokemon super quickly. Basically, it's like almost like a rare candy, the way it used to be back in the day, but you get the Pokemon from the deck too, so it's really good. You can instantly grab like a Haunch Crow GX from the deck and put it onto your Murkrow. You can even do this on the first turn, so helps out those Pokemon a lot. Next up, we got Dust Island. Whenever either player switches this poison active Pokemon with the effect of a trainer card, the new Pokemon is affected by a special condition. So yeah, it means that even if your opponent retreats their Pokemon to get rid of the poison, they still have that shit. Electromagnetic Radar. You can only play this card if you discard 2 cards from your hand. Search your deck for in any combination of Lightning Pokemon GX, Lightning Pokemon EX, put them into your hand. So this is another card that's just extremely good, that helps out these Lightning Pokemon even fucking more. You can use this, put some Lightning energies in the discard pile immediately, grab your Zeraora GX, grab your Zekrom and Pikachu GX. It's just Lightning Pokemon, I feel like they're still going to be super, super strong, man. It's just super strong they get even this card, like a double searching Ultra Ball essentially. Too fucking good. It's just too fucking good, man. Then you got this fidget thing, spinner. I don't know why they made this card. Search your deck for an energy card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. If you start second and play it into first turn, you may search for 3 energy cards. So this is really good. This is like this is basically an energy search, and on the first turn, it's even stronger than Professor's Letter. So, or if you play second, if you start second and play this card, then you get 3 energy cards. So this is really good. This is going to help out any energy acceleration decks, Magnezone, Blastoise maybe not so much, but the other energy acceleration Pokemon in Expanded, you get a lot of help. Basically any deck, like even the Lightning decks, any deck that wants to grab energies, discard them, helps you out a lot. And you got the Fairy Charm ability, one of those fairy tools. It's going to block damage from the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX with abilities. Pretty simple. Then you got the Fairy Charm Electric. This might be something interesting. It blocks Lightning Pokemon GX, Lightning GX and EX Pokemon. And then we got the Fire Crystal. Energy retrieval times 3. Instead of 2 energies, you get 3 energies with this, but they have to be fire. So one of the cards that help out fire Pokemon a lot. Giovanni's Exile. You discard up to 2 of your bench Pokemon that have no damage counters on them and all cards attached to them. I mean, this is more for combo strategy stuff. You discard 2 of your Pokemon with no damage counters on them, so I guess you can heal them. Yeah, it's kind of a weird card, but it probably has some uses. Getting rid of your own bench Pokemon, I suppose. I guess one of the things you can do is just get rid of things like maybe Shaymin EX, maybe your Tapu Lele if you don't want it anymore, just taking up space on the bench. You gotta use up your supporter though, so I don't know. Maybe some decks that use the sort of the Pokemon that revive from the discard pile, like Retina, Darkrai GX. You can use this, but it's a supporter. Gotta remember that. Green's Exploration or Blue's Exploration. If you have no Pokemon with abilities in play, get 2 trainer cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. So very good. This is almost like, you can't get any cards, so it's not like a double computer search, but you can get 2 trainer cards. So this is very good. For decks that don't want to use abilities, and they would run shit like maybe the Rule of Evil Weavile, which is rotating out anyway, it helps you out very much. Then we got the Ninja Dudes, Janine and Koga's Trap. Go look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Put 2 of those cards in your hand and shuffle the other ones back in the deck. This is like the Underground Expedition, but you do it on top. You get the top cards of your deck as opposed to the bottom. And then Koga's Trap. This is Hypnotoxic Laser in the form of a supporter, but instead of the chance for sleep, you always confuse the Pokemon. So Poison, Confusion, Instant. That's a good supporter for sure. I definitely see this card seen play in decks. We're not going to have the Survivors for long, but yeah. And then the fucking Lieutenant Surge's strategy, which should have never been printed. This card is going to break the game. I feel like it's, especially for troll decks, they're going to love this card. Can only be played if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. So it's a very easy condition to meet, like the Twins. So during this turn, you can play 3 supporter cards, including this card. So what this means is that you're not going to get to play 3 more on top of this guy, but you do get to play 2 more on top of this guy. So crazy. You can do like Cynthia 2 times. You can do like a Cynthia, a Acerola. It's broken, being able to play 2 more supporters once you play this guy. It's a very unhealthy card. I don't know why they printed this, but they just like to fuck with us sometimes. So yeah, I hate this card. It's going to be one of the strongest cards in here for sure. So keep this in mind. Then we got Martial Arts Dojo. The attacks of non-Ultra Beast Pokemon that have any basic fighting energy attached to them do 10 more damage. And if the attacking player has more prize cards remaining, those attacks do 40 more damage. So I guess this is a little bit of fighting support, like Machamp Gx can utilize this to boost the damage. It's a stadium too, and stadiums are going to be really big without Field Blower. Counter stadiums are going to be everything. And then we got Metal Core Barrier. If this is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard at the end of your opponent's, The Metal Pokemon this card is attached to takes 70 less damage from your opponent's attacks. Broken. So this is one of the other cards that Metal Pokemon can utilize. It's crazy, man. You block in 70 damage. Oh my god, it's too strong. Metal Pokemon are too strong. No other way around it. If you're not using like Fire Pokemon, hitting for weakness for sure, you won't be knocking them out. It's crazy. Crazy, man. Then we got this guy, Molian. This guy's a shitty supporter. Only if you discard 2 metal energies, you can play this dude. Shuffle a trainer card from your discard pile into your deck. So yeah, pretty damn useless, I would say. You shuffle a trainer card from your discard pile into your deck, and you gotta discard 2 energies too. It's not a good supporter. And we got Pokegear 3.0, another good card from Heart Gold Soul Silver. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may grab a supporter and put it into your hand. Really good, since we don't have things like Trainer's Mail. This card is definitely good. It's gonna see play, I'm pretty sure. A way to get supporters. And we got Power Plant. Pokemon Gx and Pokemon EX have no abilities. Very, 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 very good. You can use this as an anti-meta card. Block the GX abilities and EX abilities your opponent's Pokemon will have. It's really, really strong. I like it. Another card that would see a lot of play. Probably give the Shrine of Punishment a run for its money as a GX counter stadium. Then we have Red's Challenge. This guy is Computer Search in the form of a supporter. Another very good card that will probably see some good play. Samson Oak. This guy, you draw 2 cards. If both active Pokemon are the same type, draw 2 more cards. So you draw 4. It won't be very useful, but I guess in some situations you can get 4 cards easily like this. You got the Stealthy Hood, that just reminds me of the Roman helmets in Asterix and Obelix. Prevent all effects of your opponent's abilities done to the Pokemon this card is attached to. Yeah. So if you attach this to one of your Pokemon, all of the effects of abilities done to that Pokemon, you just don't care about them. Yeah. Prevent all effects of your opponent's abilities. Yeah. Your opponent's abilities don't work against the Pokemon you have this thing attached to. So I guess if Lycanroc GX was still around, then you can attach this to one of your Pokemon and he wouldn't be able to pull them. That's one of the good uses. Surprise Box. It has Gengar on for a reason. This is supposed to help Gengar GX a bit, but not really. Return a card from your opponent's discard pile into their hand. So, just for very specific situations, like when you want to boost your damage, with Gengar and Mimikyu GX, for example, you put a trainer in their hand, and that kind of thing. And then we have just 2 more. The Ultra Forest Carton Boy. During this turn, damage from your Ultra Beast attack isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So I guess you can use this to ignore your opponent's metal Pokemon effects that block damage. That's one of the ways you can do it. And Welder, for Fire Pokemon, you attach up to 2 Fire energies from your hand to one of your Pokemon and draw 3 cards. Very good. This is one of the cards that helps out Fire Pokemon a lot. Gives them energy acceleration, and you still draw cards. So it's sort of very good like that. It helps you get those energies, but you still keep your consistency going by drawing cards. So these are all the trainers. I kind of covered them in a hurry because I want to look at some good Pokemon in general too. But basically, as a little summary, Fire Pokemon get a lot of good shit. Fire Crystal, Welder, and of course the Reshiram. They've got some other cards, of course. Duskstone is a very good card that's going to help out Haunch Crow GX in here and other Pokemon that are able to utilize it. And Metal Pokemon are really broken, of course, with cards like the what are you called? The little metal core barrier, yeah, and all the other stuff. Some good technical support with things like Poke Gear, Red's Challenge, and other cards like the Fidget Spinner that let you grab energies. So a lot of good trainers in here for sure. Usually the Sun and the Moon sets don't disappoint in some form or another. Now then, we got some regular GX Pokemon too that are good. I guess I should look at all of them whether I like it or not. I got this Venomoth Gx. I fucking hate this Pokemon. I'm actually happy it's not showing the image here because I hate it. But this Pokemon, you basically use this with the GX supporters, with the Ninja supporters, Janine and Koka, and you get special effects. Like if you played Koga's Trap from your hand during this turn, then Shinobi Mastery is going to do 180 damage, or 200 damage actually for 3. If you play Janine, then you prevent all damage to this Pokemon by basic Pokemon next turn. So you gotta use the Venomoth Gx if you want to use it in conjunction with Janine and Koka, if you want to make the most out of it. And then 10 card return, shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 10 cards while doing 60. It should be okay, I think, if there's no error. One of the GXs, I guess, here. Then we have the, where are you, Blastoise GX. This is obviously to be used with the Blastoise from Team Up. You can do a lot of damage if you have a lot of water energies around. You shuffle any amount of water energy from your Pokemon to your deck, and you do times 60. So basically, if you shuffle like, let's say, 3 to 4, you can get one-hit knockouts on Pokemon with Solid Shell. You also block damage. And Giant Geyser GX, you can use this to attach a bunch of energies immediately from your hand. Yeah. Then we have the Dana GX. This is definitely one of this might be the strongest regular GX Pokemon because it's one of those ability drop Pokemon. You play this down, you can discard your hand and draw 6 cards. So it's not exactly like Shaymin EX, but very similar. It gives you that Juniper Sycamore effect, and you can't use more than one Dede charge. Dede charge? Dede change? Dede change, it says here. You can only get one of these effects per turn, but it's still very good. It's that Juniper effect. It's got a lot more HP than something like Shaymin, so I definitely see it seeing a lot of play in Standard. It's also a Lightning Pokemon, man, so fuck me, like... These Lightning Pokemon, they just have everything right now. Like, seriously, you can even use this guy to attack. Static Shock and Tingly Return GX paralyzes the opponent's Pokemon, and you put this Pokemon and all cards attached to your hand. It's just a good little rodent, very strong, and it's a Lightning Pokemon too. You just... the Lightning decks can't go wrong with this card. Like, really. Now, in Expanded, I would think people would still run things like Shaymin because you can use that Pokemon multiple times per turn. But this card would see play over there too. It's very good. Draw power is very good. Should be a decent replacement for Tapu Lele. Then we have some more GX Pokemon, regular ones. Where are you? My favorite one, Haunch Crow Gx. We got Whimsicott Gx too, I guess. So this Pokemon, it has that sort of a ability where you flip a coin. If you get heads, your opponent's attack doesn't do any damage. I hate that kind of effect, but it has it. And Energy Blow, 30 damage times the number of energy attached to this Pokemon. And Toy Box, you search your deck for up to 5 cards, put them into your hand. So this is going to be one of those gimmick-ass Pokemon, but because the ability is strong, I see it seeing some play at the very least. Let's get into some more consistent Pokemon, like Haunch Crow. Where the fuck are you? So I can't find the regular one, but this is like the full art one. It's not going to show us. This Pokemon, when it's active, as long as it's active, it's going to block your opponent's Pokemon tools, special energies, and stadium cards from being played. So it's very good. Kind of acts like the Glaceon GX. If it's active, it blocks a lot of good stuff. You know, blocking tools is good, blocking special energies is good. Stadiums, very good too, with all the Prism Stadiums around. And it's got some solid attacks too. Feather Storm, it's going to do 90 damage for 3, and then you can do 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched EX or GX Pokemon, so some decent spread. And Unfair GX, your opponent reveals their hand, and you can discard any 2 cards of your choice. So solid Pokemon, solid stats. I like it very much. One of my favorite Pokemon, Haunch Crow, anyway. So this might be a good luck Pokemon, like a Glaceon. And then the last dude I kind of skimmed over is the Aegislash Gx. No, Celesteela Gx, yeah. Force Canceller, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all effects of your opponent's GX attacks, including damage done to your Pokemon. Is it including damage or excluding? Wow. Prevent all effects of your opponent's GX attacks. So yeah, it blocks GX attacks, not just all of attacks of GX Pokemon. So might be a good counter against Zekrom. Like, as if they have to attack this guy, they can't do anything. They can't get the plus. And Paracyclone, 110 for 3, and you move an energy to the bench. And then Discovery GX, count your prize cards and put them into your hand. Then take that many cards from the top of your deck and put them face down. Yeah, the GX stack isn't very good. You can do some prize cards manipulation. It's not worth it, I would say, to spend your GX attack on this. But yeah. So these are the GX Pokemon. Now then, some good general Pokemon that are very good. Let's go ahead and look at all of you. Start from the top. Right, so this regular Venomoth, I hate it, but it's a decent little stage 1. It's got Fur Retreat, it can poison the opponent, and then with Assassin's Flight you can snipe and shit. So that's one decent little stage 1. Then a very good Pokemon is this, where are you? Volcanion. Helps out fire Pokemon immensely. This is another one of the reasons why Reshiram is probably going to be very good. All fire Pokemon are good with this guy. With Fire Starter, you search your deck for a Fire Energy card and attach it to one of those Pokemon. It's from the deck, and if you go second and it's your first turn, you can grab 3 energies. This is going to help out Blaziken GX, Reshiram GX, any fire deck, even Blaziken. It's crazy good. It's got a good attack too. High Heat Blast. Doing 110 damage. We got this Incineroar too. Good little stage 2. Once you get this guy out, all of your Pokemon are going to do 30 more damage. So that's a good modifier. If you want to get this guy out, you get that 30 extra damage everywhere. Next up we got this Salazzle, another Pokemon that helps out fire Pokemon and goes with the fire support in here. You can discard a fire energy, then you draw 3 cards. So an ability draw Pokemon, very good. It's the same effect as the Ninetales from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Should see play in fire decks. Definitely. What else do we have? We have some decent stage 2 Pokemon that can do high damage, like this Poliwrath. I like it very much. It can do 180 damage essentially for 3 energies. DC won't be around, unfortunately, but it's a good little Pokemon. All you have to do is just have a Poliwag or Poliwhirl on the bench, and you can do 180, no cost. Same with Gengar, if I can find it. Should be very good stage 2 Pokemon as well. Can do high damage. When you evolve into this Pokemon, you put 6 damage counters on your opponent's EX or GX Pokemon. So it's very, very good. And then Twilight Poison. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's instant poison and asleep with this. And you can use the triple boost energy to make this attack immediately. So that's kind of cool. Same with Crobat. This is another very good stage 2 Pokemon if you want to build just stage 2 Pokemon. When you evolve into this dude, you're basically immune on everything. And Severe Poison, high damage and poison too for 3 energies. Compatible with triple boost energy once again. And then Arbok. This is a very good stage 1 Pokemon too, Arbok. You can do a lot of damage, man. You use Rapid and use Heavy Choke. But it's one of those Pokemon that it actually works. You do high damage, and you got the chance to paralyze too. Excellent stage 1. So there's a lot more things in here, but we're gonna be here all day. I think this is in the Duck Trio. Yeah, if you have any Stadium card, this is a fighting Pokemon that can do 90 for 1. Not bad. Then there's the Alolan Duck Trio somewhere here that blocks bench Pokemon. You got Stakataka. Man, it's got 200 HP if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards. Hell of a wall. Damn. Like this might replace the Regigigas in a way in those troll decks. You got Spiritomb. Once during your turn, you may put 1 damage counter on this Pokemon, and this attack. It's basically this dude is. If you have a few damage counters on him, you can do high damage for just 1 energy, but it doesn't have a lot of HP, so I don't think it's going to work. But something to think about. There's the Alolan Duck Trio. As long as you get this guy out, all your meta Pokemon take 10 less damage. And Sharpedo, actually. I can't forget about that guy. It's too important. Where are you? There it is. So this Sharpedo, stage 1, when you play this Pokemon to evolve, you look at the top 6 cards of your deck, get any Darkness Energy, and attach them to your Pokemon. This is your method to make the Greninja Zoroark GX deck work. Get a lot of Darkness Energy and play like this. It should help out with many different Pokemon using Darkness Energies, really, even in Expanded. So this is a very good stage 1, one of the best cards in here to use. And what else? What else? We got this Greninja, I guess. With Slay, you now got Pokemon with the lowest HP, kind of troll things. And it's a stage 2, I guess. You got some other metal Pokemon that can block a lot of damage for no reason. There's Melmetal. You can discard a metal energy and heal 100 damage from this dude. It's got 150 HP, man. Damn. Tank. And Persian GX too. We actually forgot about this guy. Once during your turn, if one of your Pokemon GX or X was knocked out, you can search your deck for up to 2 cards, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. You can't use more than 1 Catwalk ability. It's another good little stage 2 GX Pokemon. You can obviously use the triple boost energy with its attacks too. With Vengeance, you can do a lot of damage, you know, Night March style. You have a bunch of Pokemon in your discard pile and does more damage for them. There's a limit. You can't do more than 180 damage, but it's good. Slash back, 150, and then you switch. Catwalk is a good ability. It's a good stage 1 GX Pokemon, I have to admit. Right. Porygon Z, very, very good stage 2 Pokemon as well. This is going to be energy acceleration for any special energy. So you can use this dude and attach a bunch of triple boost energies at once. Attach a bunch of DCs. We won't have that for long, but one of the things you can do. Very, very nice. And I think that might be it. I think I covered the most important things. There might be a few other Pokemon, but you know, Vileplume isn't very good. It's hard to use. Victreebel, I don't think so either. Don't remember that guy being very good. Arcanine is kind of good. It can do high damage for a stage 1 fire Pokemon. I guess it's one of the Pokemon you can try and power up. Grand Flame is a good attack. Doing 120 and then grabbing fire energies from the discard pile. And you got this Blazefall, the regular one. I guess you can discard fire energies and have this guy act like the Blazefall GX in a way. I mean, yeah, you can use Needle basically and use this guy as opposed to Blazefall GX. Should be very efficient. And we got, I think Tentacruel might be a bit good. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of solid cards, but the best of the best are the ones that I mentioned here. You know, the GX Pokemon, of course, the Tag Team GXs, the Dene, Triple Boost Energy, all of the trainers. You have things like the regular GXs too, like Haunch Crow, should be really good. Persian, some very good stage 2s, obviously, like the Porygon Z, Poliwrath, Gengar, those guys. And the Tag Team GXs basically everything is gonna revolve around them in our probability. Electromagnetic, that thing, whatever it was, helps out the Zekrom GX decks a lot. Damn it. Electromagnetic radar. Dust Island, definitely to block the GX's abilities. So yeah, best support is definitely the metal and fire stuff, especially the metal stuff, I would say. But we'll have to wait and see. A lot of the times they look good on paper, but then it just doesn't work. I think this time is gonna work though, because they just block a lot of damage for free, and you can't get around it easily. So yeah, this has been the best cards, guys. I'm gonna make the best decks video too soon. That should be more concise than this about the best decks of this set if you want to build from this set. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, and share this with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Say